Yes, you were. Waited at the well for a woman scorned and hated. He knew her shame, knew her story, and the sins that scarred her soul. Yet even so, he said, woman, draw me a little water. I am the one you've been waiting for. Drink of me, taste the living water, a fountain of grace that won't run dry. I am the living water.
Welcome to the Women at the Well podcast, where we sit at the well with Yeshua and with you. Together, we drink from the living water of His Word and wrestle with how to walk the ancient path in modern times.
Stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient paths. Ask where the good way is, and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls. Jeremiah 6:16. I think we're good to go. All right. So, just so that you are aware, we're going through the Torah. The Torah are the first 5 books of the Bible. Those are divided into portions, and the portions are read at the same time each year. So, like this week is the first Torah portion of the whole entire year, and people all over the world are reading it together. We're going to go do an entire deep dive on what the Torah portion is and why it's important, but just know it's starting over right now, so you're here at the perfect time. And the first portion is called Bereshit, which I'm hoping you can see on this whiteboard that I'm about to move out of Sierra's way. But before I do, I want to show you this. Okay, so in Hebrew, I have Bereshit written on this board. And the cool thing about Hebrew is even the letters have different meanings. So let me grab my paper.
Did you bring your Mark Billett's Bible?
It's in the house. We can ask them to grab it. Yeah, that'd be good.
I was thinking about that.
All right, so if you see here, the different letters mean different things. So the letter here, they read from, is it left to right or right to left?
Just push.
Yes, just push.
Yeah, it's right to left.
They read right to left. So you see that this letter means tent, this letter means chief, this letter means Adonai, this letter means destroy, this letter means hand, this letter means cross or covenant. So you can see how the different letters mean different things. And the letters, when you put them together, mean different things. So Bereshit means in the beginning. That's what the first portion is called, is Bereshit, which means in the beginning. But if you start to look at the individual letters, they actually send a message to you. And the letters, when put together, there's another 2 letters over here that say sun. These say thorns when you put them together. These say head when you put them together. And these letters say cypress tree when you put them together. So basically, when you read all of these letters together, which the first word of the Bible, the first few words of the Bible are in the beginning, right? In the beginning, written in Hebrew, broken down by the meaning of just the letters within that word, would say something like the Son of Man, or the Son of God, was destroyed by His own hand on the cross with thorns upon His head on a cypress tree. And so it's already foreshadowing Jesus coming into the world and dying for our sins, which I just think is the coolest thing ever, that it's already foreshadowing Him. So I'm going to slide this over here, and Sierra will be up in just one moment. But we'll go ahead and start talking. So in the book of Genesis, we're on Genesis 1:1, so join us there if you can. You'll see in the beginning, that first sentence, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And so we know that Isaiah 46:10, says, He declared the end from the beginning. So that's why it's so important. I know a lot of people are really interested in Revelation right now. There's tons of prophecy happening, so I 100% understand the fascination with Revelation. But in order to understand Revelation, you have to understand Genesis, because he's declaring the end from the beginning. So when you start to understand Genesis better, you can way better understand, well, the rest of the entire Bible. I always like to tell people, you would never choose any book like Harry Potter. You would never start reading Harry Potter in the beginning. You would never start reading it at the end. You would never bounce around the book, because that would make it feel very confusing. So what we want to do is start at the very beginning and understand that well, so that once you get to the last parts of the book, you can appreciate what's being said. Also, Proverbs 25:2, it says, it's the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it's the honor of kings to search out a matter. And so the thing that I want to encourage everyone to do as we are going through Genesis is to not just gloss over it. Don't just stick your toes in the water. Like, let's get in a submarine and search out what he has to say for us in this like incredible book. So we'll start on verse 2 now, chapter 1, verse 2. The earth was unformed and void. Darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the surface of the water. So I think this is something that we read and sometimes read over without appreciating it. What it must have been like when the earth was void and dark, and what would nothing have even looked like. That is mind-blowing to even think about. And then we know that he created all of these things out of nothing. So, I mean, it's one thing for us to take, like we're making a craft, but we have the supplies and we have the directions and we create the craft. He literally created everything from nothing. And I think that is super, super just like awe-inspiring. That's the God that we're praying to, as the God that made everything from nothing. And then it says that the Spirit hovered over the surface of the water. And I always tell my girls, we really love kayaking, and it just feels like you're hovering over the water. And I like to think about how in the beginning, when everything was void and there was just darkness, his Spirit was hovering over the water. Then it says, then God said, let there be light. But in the Hebrew, if you look at it, so I've got this book, I highly recommend it. It's called Genesis, and it's by Mark Biltz. But it's just the Torah. I'll show you guys. You want to join us?
Yes.
All right, we got Sierra joining us.
Where? Oh, there it is.
Yes. So we can see questions and stuff on this one,
Oh, fun.
and then camera on that one.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the Mark Biltz version of the Bible, and basically what he's done is he went back to the Hebrew, and he puts the Hebrew here, then he puts the transliteration right below it, so how you would say it, you can read the letters easier in the transliteration, and then he has it in the English. So we like to go
Hold
through.
it up.
Yes, let me see if we
Just
can get
do it.
closer.
Take a sec. Yeah, I'll stand up. Oh.
You sure?
Take one for the team so people can have an idea. So I think, yeah, the red's Hebrew, blue is transliteration, and the black is English. This Bible is so cool.
It is, and he has QR codes in it as well, so that you can scan the QR codes and get more information on the text. But what is super cool about this book is it's highlighting anything that didn't get translated accurately from the Hebrew into the English. So, for example, instead of, my Bible says, and then he said, let there be light. Instead, when you're looking at it straight from the Hebrew, it says, and God said, be light, and there was light. And what is so cool, the difference for me is, he's not, it's an imperative sentence. Like, he's just commanding it, and it's happening. Instead of, like, let there be light, it's just like, be light. He commanded it, and then there was light.
That's very cool.
I think that is super cool. I'm going to set this here so that we can have that. But what I thought was interesting was, this is before the sun and the moon are created.
Yes.
So then it begs the question, well, then, like, what was the light? Because it's before the sun and the moon, right? Well, we have the answer, because it says in John, Jesus or Yeshua says that he is the light of the world, John 8:12. So we see him as the light of the world, and then also we see Psalms 119, 105, thy word is a lamp unto thy feet and a light unto thy path. So what was the light then before?
Well, I actually
The sun
have
and the moon.
something to go with that.
Oh,
that I
tell us.
heard this morning.
Okay.
It was done by a Messianic rabbi, and he was talking about how the same language that is right now in Bereshit is the same language in John chapter 1. In the beginning
In the beginning was
was
the Word, and the Word was God.
And it actually also talks about the Word being the light.
The light.
Yes. Like, it was like almost, and they were saying that it also shows that he's Jewish, obviously, to show like, see, this is who your Messiah is, and he was there in the beginning.
Yes, that is
very
so cool. Well, and if you know, okay, he's the light, and the Word is the light, and the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and it was the light shining in the darkness. It's telling us what was happening here in creation before the sun and the moon. And so I just think that's the coolest. And it also speaks to how important the beginning of the book is.
Yes.
It is the light. The Torah is the light. So I think that's important for us to remember.
Yeah, the Word.
Yes, his word is light. And then it says, God saw that the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So there was evening and morning one day.
Yep.
So what do we want to highlight about the evening and the morning?
So that is why the Jewish people, when they do Shabbat, they start in the evening. They start at sundown. So to them, sundown to sunrise is a day. And that's because of these scriptures where it says there was evening, then there was morning, the second day or whichever day. And so we do everything in our culture, in our Western culture, the complete opposite.
Right. We found a way to mess up everything. We found a way to mess up days. That's what we did. Like, that's impressive, really. Like,
It's
the
impressive.
calendars, we've messed the calendar up. We've messed day and night up. We messed the
English,
Shabbat, the language.
Yes.
Which, I mean, the language was at Babel.
English is fine. I mean, but it is so vastly different from the
It's
original
missing
Hebrew.
so much. I mean, that we can even just see here. So, so that's something to keep in mind as we continue reading, is that God said that the evening and then the morning is the first day. So then it says, God said, also I wanted to highlight here the power of your words.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, he just spoke and there was light, right? So, and we're made in his image, which would imply that when we speak, like, we're uttering things that are not just meaningless, hopefully, that we're speaking life into people, like how God spoke light and life into the world. So
I will speak on that.
Yeah.
2 things. First, this is a verse that really freaks me out, quite frankly, that I've listened to a lot in the last year through Millennia Sakati. And she's a wife and a mother of 5. And she talks about this verse that says that we will be judged for every careless word that comes out of our mouth.
I tell my kids that.
And that really is humbling and kind of scary.
Yeah.
In the best way. But also with what she said, our words have power. Before all of this, God, when he opened my eyes to how lukewarm I was and he set me on fire, one of the things he told me was, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And he was trying to show me all of the paganism and things just in the normal church. And at that time, the only thing he revealed to me, as I'm sure some of you guys have seen, is New Age being in the church. So New Age, anything that other religions take as a thing, like karma or New Age practices, it's a counterfeit. So for a long time, I was afraid to admit that my words have power, because that is one of their biggest mantras. So
Right.
Words have power. You can create your universe and manifest and all of that. And I don't agree with the way they do it, because they try to be their own God. But there is still very much truth behind it, that your words have the power to bring life and death. So I did want to make that clear, that we're not spreading New Age garbage,
Yeah.
but there is definitely some truth about kind of
And he
some of the things
says
they say.
life and death, the power of life and
Yeah.
death are in the
tongue.
tongue, right? So I think you're right, for sure. And then it says, let there be a dome in the middle of the water. Let it divide the water from the water. God made the dome and divided the water under the dome from the water above the dome. So it's being really
Really in your face.
right. This is how it was. And God called the dome sky. There was evening and there was morning. Here we go. And the second day. God said, let the water under the sky be gathered together into one place and let dry land appear. That is how it was. God called the dry land earth and gathered together of the water that he called seas, and God saw that it was good. You let me know if you need me to stop or if you want.
What I really need, my friend, is can you open my new cup? I have no idea.
Oh.
How do I do
Grams
it?
is watching
How
and
do
she
I do
made
it?
Grams is watching and she made us
Thank
these
you.
women at the well cups, which
Very
are
sweet.
incredible. Yep.
Very sweet.
And while we're
How do I
on
do it? So
yeah,
I
it's just
pull
like
it
this.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
While we're on the subject of women at the well too, the goal is we're gonna have a page that is for women at the well, and so
I made
it's
it.
just gonna be
it's made.
it's made. Okay, yay, it's made. So go ahead and make a note to like that page. I would say maybe like the first few we'll do here just so that we can get our friends added. I think you have to have 100 friends to go live.
Yes.
Right. So we're hoping that as soon as possible we can get it moved over to Women at the Well. And then if you join that, we can add extra resources. We can be encouraging and we can pray for each other. And so basically it's Women at the Well because there was a woman at the well and that's where she learned about the living water that she was going to get from Yeshua, Jesus. And that's what we want to be, is just the women at the well drinking of his water and then going and spreading it like that woman did. So that's
And
sort of the thought.
She did it without. She just did it with so much enthusiasm.
Yes.
And that's what I love that.
And we also identify with her because she was a very
Had a sloppy
flawed
past.
Yes, her past was flawed and our past are flawed. So that is another thing we want to make sure that we convey is like we're not here acting like we have everything together or that we're
Our
perfect.
ducks are in a row.
Ducks are not in a row. Don't even know where all my ducks are. But what we do know is that this is true, and we really, really, really want to like explore that truth with
And
people.
we know where the living water comes from.
Exactly. Yes, it's not from us. It's from here.
And she started telling people day one. We've only been doing this for a year.
Right.
But what I have noticed is God can use you in any circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
in any stage in your life.
Exactly.
So I'll say that.
So we're gonna pick up on 11. So chapter 1, verse 11. God said, "Let the earth put forth grass, seed-producing plants, and fruit trees, each yielding its own kind of seed-bearing fruit on the earth." And that's how it was. The earth brought forth grass, plants each yielding its own kind of seed, and trees each producing its own kind of seed-bearing fruit. And God saw that it was good. So there was evening and there was morning, a third day. Now, as Sierra says, it's about to get spicy. Okay.
Are we talking about the
Yes.
firmament?
No.
Oh.
14. 14. It says, God said, "Let there be lights
Okay.
in the dome of the sky and divide it into the sky to divide the day from the night.
Okay.
Let them be for, this
Oh,
says, for
okay.
signs, seasons, days, and years." That's what this says.
Okay.
Now let's look at the Hebrew.
Yes.
We are on
This is a big
one-
deal, y'all. when you start to
1:14.
understand this. There it is right here, honey.
You want me
You
to
got
read
it? Okay. So in the Hebrew, in the English where it's talking about seasons, what do we mostly think about? We're thinking,
I used to think summer, winter, spring, fall.
right. If we're honest, what's really telling us about that is more the leaves, you know, and maybe the temperature, the
Yeah.
flowers. It's more really the plants that tell you about that and
Right.
like the temperature. But anyways, but they're talking here about the stars, the moon, the sun, all those things. And those things are used to tell the seasons. Well, that word in the Hebrew is moadim. You're going to hear that quite a bit from us. Moadim. It means appointed times. I'll let Sarah say it, but she kind of talks about the date night thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's more about specific times that God has set, and He set them apart. And so then we can look at the moon, look at the stars, and know when that time is. And so talk about your date night theory.
Yes. So the Moedim are times where God says, I'm going to show up. If you show up, I'll be there too. And so the Moedim there's holy days throughout the year.
Super spicy, she said.
What is it? Super spicy?
I agree.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
Yes. Okay, so there's Moedim, which are biblical holy days throughout the year. So there's like Passover, unleavened bread, Sukkot, Feast of Trumpets, Yom Kippur. Missing one.
What's before Passover? Or what's around Passover? Unleavened bread.
Passover. Shavuot.
Oh, yes.
So which is also known as Pentecost, right?
Yes, Pentecost.
And so those are specific times, and God tells us, and which we will get to as we do this study, as we get to it, and Leviticus, it's going to talk more about this. And it says there are specific times. It says on the 7th month of the 7th day on the 7th month, I want you to keep this holiday, and it's called this, and this is how I want you to keep it, and I want you to keep it like that for a couple of days or a couple of years.
It says for all your generations in all your dwellings.
Forever, right?
Forever.
And then the other Moedim is actually weekly, and that is the Shabbat, right?
And there's a monthly one.
Oh yeah, the new moon.
Rosh Chodesh.
Yes, which we'll talk about that as well. But so we're actually doing a video probably this week, right, about the portion and how the calendar works and how you know when the Moedim are. But basically, the entire point of there's already light, right? Like we already know there's already light. So then in comes the sun and the moon and the stars, and the whole purpose of those are to tell us when the Moedim are. Like it's saying, let them be for signs and Moedim days and years.
One thing I actually want to premise, because most of the people we're talking to are Christians, a lot of them don't do the feasts.
Right.
But what is something that they talk about all the time? Okay. The moon. Okay, in the sense of, oh my gosh, guys, tonight's a blood moon. Tonight's an eclipse. And they all freak out, and then they stop, and they're like, it must be the end times. Or so it's like there is something, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm more trying to say that there is something innately in us that we know that
there's something cool about that.
There's something cool about that.
Yes.
And God's trying to tell us something. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And he really is. And he's trying to say, meet with me. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, he wants, we were about to say, so he wants a date day with you. Like, that's
Hi,
what
Misty.
I call the Shabbat. It's like, that's my date day with God. Like, you know, it's once a week where he's like, I will show up if you show up. Yeah. And that has been the case since I started doing this. Yep. I mean, like, I would read before. I've been a Christian my whole life. I would read before, and I would, like, gloss over and not understand what most of it meant. Something about what I'm studying on Shabbat, though, like, I just get it. I just, like, it downloads better. And it's more intentional. It's a whole day instead of just, like, one church service. It is from sundown to sundown where we are doing nothing but just studying, and I get so much more out of it.
Well, I have a toddler, so I'm not studying the entire time. I'm just letting you know, your Shabbat doesn't have to look like that at first.
Right. It's
but
like
you have the space to do it.
Right.
Yes, you have the space to do it, but don't get me wrong. I take a lot of naps. I watch a movie. It's okay.
So burdensome.
It's okay.
I'm joking. So with the Moedim, it is on the Hebrew calendar, and again, we're about to do a video on the calendar, and the months change at the new moon. So every time there's a new moon, it becomes a new month, and that's how you count the months. So we pay a close attention to the moon. Actually, when we first started to understand how important the new calendar was, when we were first starting to, like, understand how it worked, I understood that we needed to be, like, watching for new moons, but I kept forgetting to check. Like, I would be like, oh, it's coming close, and then the night would happen, and I would, like, not pay attention. Forget. So you know what I did?
We would start texting each other, guys, don't forget.
Yes. So I hacked it, though, because my kids fight over the front seat really, really bad. and it's really frustrating. So what I did is I made it where one kid has the front seat until the next new moon, and then the next kid gets
I
it.
love that.
So now, whenever they're wondering if it's almost their turn, they're checking the moon. So then
They're watching for it.
they can't wait till the new
I
moon.
love it.
Yes. Also, and we'll go over this in the video that we're going to be doing on this, but there's a TLV app.
Yes.
And I highly recommend that. It'll tell you like when the new moon is coming and when the Moedim are coming, and then it gives suggestions on how to observe those. Which the Bible gives its own suggestions, and it aligns well with it, so it's good. So then God made we're on verse 16. God made 2 great lights, a larger light to rule the day and a smaller light to rule the night, and the stars. And then it is in Psalms 33:6, it says, by the word of the Lord were the heavens, and all of the host of them, talking about the stars, by the breath of his mouth. So for light, he said, let there be light. But for the stars, he literally breathed, like he breathed stars into existence.
Wow.
So like
That's
I
really cool.
love looking at the stars, and I'm like, he literally was like, and like there's stars, and like it gives me cold chills right now, like to think when I'm praying to like a star breathing God. You know, like
A star breather.
I'm the daughter of a star breather. I think that is like the coolest.
That's the first time I've heard that.
That is the coolest. And it says, okay, let me see, I lost
That's
it. Okay.
awesome.
God put them in the dome of the sky to give light to the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So there was evening and there was morning, a 4th day. All right. Do you want to pick up, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse 20. I'll skip over. Here we go. God said, let the water swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth in the open dome of the sky. God created the great sea creatures and every living thing that creeps, so that the water swarmed with all kinds of them. And there were every kind of winged bird, and God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, oh, I got something on this. God blessed them, saying, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the water of the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. So there was evening, and there was morning, a 5th day. I saw this recently, that most people know that the commandment for human beings that are married is to be fruitful and multiply. But the first time that was ever mentioned is God commanded animals to do that. And why that's important to me, well, and to her, is because my husband is a dog trainer. Shout out to Fallen Canine. Look him up. But he really pushes in his business about not spaying, not neutering. At least initially in the first couple years, it messes with their hormones and all that stuff. But he goes back to this verse. He's like, I'm not going to mess with the commandment of God on their lives, like that God's commanded them to do. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to touch that. And so, we should honor that process. And
Which is a very unpopular opinion.
It is. I know it is. But that's where me and my husband got this from, is from here and other parts in the Bible. It is definitely unpopular, but we have seen in just history that anytime humans have messed with the design or what's going on, or moved a fish here, or moved a kangaroo here, or whatever, is things get out of whack and things get out of control.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
You're at 24.
24. Okay. God said, let the earth bring forth each kind of living creature, each kind of livestock, crawling animal, and wild beast. And that's how it was. God made each kind of wild beast, each kind of livestock, and every kind of animal that crawls along the ground. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make humankind in our own image, which I think this is cool. Adam literally means humankind, if you look at the Hebrew.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to look this part up.
So then it says, in likeness of ourselves, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, the animals, and over all the earth, and over every crawling creature that crawls on the earth. And I think that it's incredible to think about how we're made in his image and in his likeness.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we could never be like him. We could never embody all that he is. But, like, there's ways that it's like, I'm like my dad, right? Like, if you like art, if you like being creative, then you're like your father, right? Like, because he's the creator of everything. I just think that is, like, the coolest thing. If you like to, like, love on people, if you like to, I don't know, make a difference in the world in any kind of way, then that's you feeling yourself being made in his image. And then, like, whenever we'll keep reading and you'll start noticing, like, oh, I feel like I already knew that. There's lots of, like, it's written, his words are written on our hearts because we innately know murdering is wrong and stealing is wrong. So some of it has been kind of tainted by the enemy, obviously, and that's why we have to go back to the word and straighten our brains out on some things. But mostly innately, like, we know what's right and wrong because we're made in his image, and I think that's cool too.
Yeah.
It said, so God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. We'll just keep going. God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and everything created that crawls on the earth.
Yeah.
Then God said, here, throughout the whole earth, I am giving you as food every seed-bearing plant, every tree with seed-bearing fruit, and every wild animal, bird in the air, and creature crawling on the earth, and which there was a living soul. I am giving as food every kind of green plant, and that is how it was. God saw everything that he made, and indeed it was very good. So there was evening and there was morning on the sixth day. Okay, it's
A
about
lot happened on that day.
Yes, that was a very busy day. So then, okay,
Which is actually how Fridays are.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Fridays is the day before Shabbat.
Yeah.
And so we call that preparation day, which is very just prophetic in general.
Yeah.
But if you really think about even here, I never thought of that.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
neither.
that's the day that I try to make no plans. I try to not make appointments. And that day I'm cleaning my house. Because the next day I'm chilling and I don't want to chill in a messy house.
Right.
But it's a very busy day. And even when my mom calls me up, I gotta go, it's preparation day.
Yeah.
She knows.
I try to cook ahead, but everyone's got different ideas on that. But, like,
Yeah.
for me, like, we have a big family, and so cooking is work. Like, for that many people, stressful, the dishes, all of it. So, like, we really try hard to, like, make sure we've got food ready, laundry's done, and we can literally just relax and be with him on that day. Well, speaking of that, okay, this is where we're heading.
Yeah.
It says, thus the heavens and the earth were finished. So the Hebrew word for finish here is kala, which means complete or to bring to perfection. Period. Which means that, like, this was like, tie a bow on it. Everything's good exactly how I have it.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it, please. And
That's
then
right.
that's all we did. Starting here, we started messing with it, right? Okay.
We poked at it.
Exactly. So then, along with so let's go back. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, along with everything in them. I want you to count how many times they say which day this is.
Which verse are you at, honey?
I'm on 2:1.
Okay.
Okay, count how many times it says which day we're talking about.
Okay.
On the seventh day, God was finished with his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work which he had made. It's like the same sentence 2 times in a row. God blessed the seventh day and separated it as holy,
Yeah.
because on that day God rested from all his work which he had created, so that it itself could produce.
Period.
So how many times was that?
It was about 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, it was several times in one paragraph. So I was gonna look really fast at Exodus 20 verse 8.
Is that about the Shabbat?
Yes.
Okay.
So did I already have that marked? Yeah, I did. Okay. Exodus 28. So this is in the 10 Commandments, and it says
It's the fourth one.
The fourth one. The only one that says remember, ironically, because it's like he thought we were going to forget it, and then we did.
We did.
Remember the day, Shabbat, which means the seventh day, to set it apart for God. You have 6 days to labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Shabbat for Adonai your God. On it you are not to do any kind of work, not you, your son, your daughter, your male servant, or your female servant, not your livestock, or the foreigner, meaning anyone that even wasn't an Israelite, the foreigner staying with you inside the gates of your property. For 6 days, Adonai is God. It's the Hebrew name for God.
It's his Hebrew name for Lord.
Yes.
It's Lord, Master, by the way.
So it says, for 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth and the sea and everything in them, but on the 7th day he rested. This is why Adonai blessed the day, Shabbat, and separated it for himself. So up there with don't kill people, don't steal things, we have this, but we've forgotten it, but he knew we were going to forget it, and so he says, remember, 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 right? So all of this, we're remembering back to where? We're remembering back to here, the first Shabbat, which is what they're talking about here. So then it says, here is the history of the heavens and the earth.
The first Moedim.
The first Moedim, yes.
Very first Moedim.
Here is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created. On the day when Adonai God made the earth and heaven, there was, oh my goodness, there was as yet no wild bush on the earth, and no wild plant had.
You want me to keep going?
Yes, you go.
I got it.
I have dyslexia. Sometimes I need a break.
Had as yet sprung up, for Adonai God has not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no one to cultivate the ground. Rather, a mist went up from the earth, which watered the entire surface of the ground. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then Adonai God formed a person, Adam, or Adam, as some say, from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, so that he became a living being. Adonai God planted a garden towards the east in Eden, and there he put the person whom he had formed. Out of the ground Adonai God caused to grow every tree pleasing in appearance and good for food, including the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
There's several things in here that's so cool.
Go,
Okay,
go, go.
so it says, first we see that he said, let there be light. So he spoke the light into existence. He breathed the stars into existence. He formed Adam, right? Like he molded him out of the dust of the earth. And then, okay, for the garden, he planted the garden, which I think is super cool. So he literally got down. He could have just said, be a garden, and there would have been a garden.
Yeah.
But God likes gardening, which I think is so cool. Anyone who likes gardening, anyone who likes getting your hands in the soil and the smell of the soil, and you like putting the seeds in and watching them grow, that is you being like your dad, because you're made in his image. I think that's the coolest thing. All right, then it says, including the tree of life. So pay attention. We have 2 trees. We have the tree of life in the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And I think that, growing up when I was reading this, I kind of combined those. The tree of knowledge of good and bad.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes.
Isn't that where he changed it a little bit?
Yeah, anywhere that it's highlighted, he corrected it. So it looks like,
That's pretty cool.
maybe it was evil and it changed to bad. So, I thought that was cool too. So pay attention to this tree of life. It's going to come into play later in a way that I never recognized until
But you said that
this
you
time
felt,
last year.
when you were young, you felt like they were the same?
I think I just was glossing over a lot of this. I didn't process that there's 2 trees.
Oh, okay.
I just thought,
Okay.
oh, there's a tree in the Garden of Eden. I didn't realize there's 2 different trees and they have different meanings. But I thought this was cool. Okay, John 20, verse 15. Mary is back at the tomb, and she's weeping, and then Jesus, Yeshua, is coming up to her, and it startles her, and she turns around and she says, he says, why are you weeping? And she thought he was the gardener. Isn't that cool?
I have never thought of that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he's he's here.
Yes. I mean, he's very creative, we'll tell him.
Yes,
That.
and he gardens, so I think that's cool.
That's very cool.
You want to pick up a 10?
Yes. A river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided into 4 streams. The name of the first is Pishon. It winds or wins?
I think wines.
Winds throughout the land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx stone are also found there, and the name of the second river is Gishon. It winds through the land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris, and it is the one that flows towards the east of Asher. The fourth river is the Euphrates. I do kind of have a fun spicy thing. Okay, so this is just a theory, okay? This is not fact, just a theory. There's a major theory out there that the Garden of Eden is in the North Pole. And
I've heard that.
There's some really cool
really
evidence
likes that
behind
theory.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of putting my chips on that one. But there's some really old maps back in the day where it kind of shows that.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool because who do you know that's ever been in the North Pole? Nobody. Other than a mystical man with a white beard.
That's fake.
I mean, other than that, that's it. But with that, I had something, and it had to do with the rivers. Oh, no, it had to do with the Northern Lights. Okay, you've not heard this one. Okay, so there's apparently some scripture that talks about how the throne of God, like, brings out jasper.
Oh, yeah.
Like this purple color and this, like, pink color.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other two. Anyways, where do you see those in the heavens?
Are you thinking Northern Lights?
The Northern Lights. So they were also talking about how, like, science, they make, like, oh, it's just atoms dancing or whatever they say. But it's also just, so another theory is the Northern Lights are dancing because it's right above God's throne.
That's interesting.
And his throne
That's
is
something
right
to look
above
into.
the Garden of Eden. It's just a fun, like,
It's a
thing.
fun thought to think
It's just
about.
fun. I'm not saying it's true.
I like trying to, like,
It's fun.
think through it. Like we talked about, like, with we said Proverbs 25:2. It's the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings to search out a matter. So I think, like, searching out things, like, we should try to, like, search things out. Not that we're gonna figure it out, but it's fun to search.
We can ask him later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says, okay, Adonai, God, took the person and put him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and care for it. So, okay, at this point, it is before the fall, and he's cultivating and caring for the garden, which the girls' ballet teacher always tells them that God called work good, because there's already working happening.
That's good for your kids.
Yes, right? And then it says, okay, Adonai gave the person this order. You may freely eat from every tree in the garden, except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so the tree of life seems to be fair game, but not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right?
Yeah.
You're not to eat from it, because on that day that you eat from it, it will become certain that you will die. Okay, pause.
See what he says.
So there's a word for die, so it's on, you're on Genesis 7, verse 17, chapter 2.
Are you talking? Oh.
Okay.
Cool. So in the Hebrew, apparently it says, "You shall surely become finite."
Yes.
What does finite mean?
Like, you're going to die. Eventually you'll die. So
which
in
is
the
true.
English, you're just reading die, and you're like, well, but they ate and they didn't die, right?
Yeah.
But this is really interesting. I don't want to...
Having limits or bounds.
Oh, so yeah, eventually you'll die.
They were supposed to be eternal.
Yeah. So I think that's really interesting to think about. Now, file that in your brain, because it's a different word in Hebrew when Eve tells the serpent
Okay.
the story. Okay?
Cool.
So, all right. Then we have Adonai God said, "It isn't good that a person should be alone. I will make for him a companion suitable for helping him." But in the Hebrew, it does not say helping him.
This is her favorite
I
part.
like this verse.
You guys are gonna love it. Okay, it's right here.
You got it?
You want me to say? Okay. We are doing well. In the car is my green cover. The key's in there. If you could grab it.
Speaking of my Adam.
Yes, he came to help us.
Yes.
The helpers. He's helping the helpers.
Where's your keys at?
The key's in the car, so it'll just
You need a
open.
green cover.
Yes, thank you. It should be in the front or the... No, I think it's in the back seat. Thank you.
Okay. So,
Okay, so
I'm
am I
his
gonna read it?
helper.
We haven't read it yet.
okay, go ahead. Go.
We gotta tell the people. So it says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him a help to challenge him. Before you get there.
Okay.
What have we been taught most of our lives? Not everybody, but most people. So it says, make him a help to challenge him. That's what it says. But we have been told our whole lives that we're helpers. We're the helpmate. And a lot of people use that in a more derogatory term.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go.
Yeah, like a more subservient term. But it's saying to challenge him. Now, I do think that this amends at the curse. And I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think the original purpose of a woman was to be like, why are you doing that?
Which
Like,
we do.
Why would you think that's a great idea, right?
Or also encourage him. Like,
Yeah.
remember, I know this is hard. You're having a hard day,
You
but
can do it.
it's gonna work out.
Yes.
You know, we've definitely had those.
You can do it, and you can do it even better than you've been doing it. It's very challenging.
I see your potential. You
Yes,
can do it.
I believe in
say
you.
I say that all the time.
Right? So I think that is important. And so originally it's saying that the word helper was more meant as like a challenger than like a subservient.
And some people have said it means warrior.
Yeah, I've heard
Right?
that too.
Yeah, warrior. Yeah.
But it is definitely more strong than I originally thought it was in English.
Isn't that the same word as the paraclete?
What was that one?
It's the Greek for the Holy Spirit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah,
I
it's a
will
very
send you- I will
similar
send them a
word.
helper.
Yeah, when
That's cool.
when Yeshua said, "I will send you someone to be your advocate," that same word is this word.
That's super cool.
So that's very cool.
Okay, so then it says, so from the ground Adonai God formed every wild animal and every bird that flies in the air, and he brought them to the person to see what he would call them, which I thought that was cool. Where'd that paper go?
Oh, you went the thing on the text.
Yeah,
Inside.
oh, you have it on the text.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll just
good,
bring it
because I
up.
lost the paper.
I got it.
I bet everyone's surprised that I lost the paper. Okay, so Adam gets to name all of the livestock. And the person, it says, so the person, it keeps calling him the person. The person gave names to all the livestock, to the birds of the air, and to every wild animal, but for Adam, there was not found a companion suitable for helping him.
Yeah.
So, we thought this
God
was
did
really-
not find a helper to challenge him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to get challenged by your lion. Well, maybe the lion. Okay. So here's
that
just a
bad.
couple examples, and I think this is so cool. So lion in Hebrew is, I might mispronounce, Aryeh. It means strength, courage, tribe of Judah. Oh, this is meaning / symbolism. But basically they're named, so like a wolf, Zaev, fierceness, enemy to the flock,
Do the horse one. I like the horse.
horse, Zeus, speed, battle, strength is like meanings and symbolism for the horse. So like Adam was going through and like describing the animals, not just like making up random names. I was talking to Kim earlier and she was saying like giraffe. So the ARF always has something to do with the neck, like scarf, scruff of the neck.
Cool.
And like giraffe is like describing the long neck.
Yeah.
So when it goes back to the Hebrew and then back to the English, that sound always is meaning something to do with like the neck.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting.
So there's purpose even behind their names.
Right. And we were talking in our study last night about like, oh, it would have taken a super long time, and I bet it would have taken a very long time to name them all. But if you've been to the Ark in Williamstown, like it takes like half a day to walk through the Ark. And like if you're really, really reading everything.
Yeah.
So I would say like, you know, he could have gotten it done because the animals there's one of every kind on the
I talked to
Ark.
Gabby today, and she
Yeah.
also had a good theory. They probably were not sleeping.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, because if they were eternal, sleep is a like kind of lesser version of death.
Yeah.
It represents death, so they probably weren't sleeping. So
Yeah.
he might have had 24 hours awake.
He
to
would
do
have
it.
really rested on that Shabbat too.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so then it says, Okay. He couldn't find a helper within all these animals. Then it says, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the person, and while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and closed up the place which he took it with flesh. The rib which Adonai God had taken from the person, he made a woman person, and he brought her to the man person. The man person said, at last, this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She is to be called woman, because she was taken out of man. This is why a man is to leave his father and mother and stick with his wife, and they are to be one flesh. So then, I've heard a lot of people say, and I don't know if this is just like an observance or there's something behind it, but like, she's pulled from his rib.
I've heard.
So it's like not, she's not to be before him or behind him, but she's beside him, like under his arm, and he's protecting her because it's the rib.
Okay, that's very sweet.
Yes, it is a sweet thought. I'm not sure if that's
accurate,
where it's coming from.
It's very sweet.
Alright, so then it says, they were both naked, and the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. So then if you look, I have a note here to look at Revelation 12. Let me look really fast.
And then also in the Hebrew, woman is Isha, and a man is Ish. So it also is showing like their names in the Hebrew are similar. Like she came out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Ish and then Isha.
That is really cool.
So I love
I've got a note, Revelation 7:9. Oh,
12,
okay. Here's 12:7-9. Okay, it's because of what we're about to talk about in chapter 3.
Oh, okay.
So this is prefacing chapter 3. I'm going back to Revelation 7
The fall
through
Dun,
9.
dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everyone knows the fall is chapter 3.
Yeah. So then this says, there was a battle in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but it was not strong enough to win, so that there is no longer any place for them in heaven. The great dragon was thrown out, that ancient serpent, also known as the devil or Hasatan, the adversary, the deceiver of the whole world.
Wow.
He was hurled down to earth, and his angels were hurled down with him. So that's in Revelation describing what happened before this happened. So now he's been hurled into the earth, and notice he's called a dragon. I think that's an interesting thing to put in our brains.
I do have something about the curse on him later.
Oh, yay.
You asked me later.
Yay. Okay. So then it says, now the serpent, now we're going to call him a serpent.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see why. The serpent was more crafty than any wild animal which Adonai God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say? Did he really say it? That's what he always
We say
says.
it all the time.
Yes. So, like, God said don't do things. And we're like, but did God really say that?
But my
Like,
pastor said it.
right. Or God says to do something. And it's like, but did he really mean that he wants us to do it? Like, maybe it's opposite day. Like, that's how it feels.
Maybe it's opposite day.
Okay, so listen to what he does.
I love it.
Did God really say, you are not to eat from any tree in the garden? The woman answered the serpent, we may eat from the fruit of the trees of the garden, but about the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, God said, you are neither to eat from it nor touch it, or you will die.
And that's not what he said.
That is not what he had said.
He just said don't eat it.
He said, don't eat it. And she said, well, I'm not even allowed to touch that tree, right? She added to what he said.
But hold on, let's give her some charity. She did add on to it, but maybe she did that for herself because she thought it might be too tempting.
Right. So we
'Cause
don't
you
know if
talk
Adam
about-
told her wrong,
Yeah.
or if she just made that up for her own mind. But there's an issue with it. First of all, there's one more error other than she added that you can't even touch it.
Yeah.
She also
Which
said,
humans do.
or you will die. Okay? Now the Hebrew die in this one
Oh.
is different than the Hebrew die. So go back to this one. Go back to the first one, the infinite
Well,
one.
this is.
The finite one.
Oh, okay.
You were just right there. Okay. So this word is Tamoot. Tamoot. Okay, now go to die on
Tree what?
3, 3.
Okay, right here.
Okay,
Last
last word is Te-mu-tun.
Oh, that's very similar.
Yes. It's very similar because they both mean die, but one of them, the original one means you're going to eventually die. You will have an expiration date if you eat this fruit. This one, when she's saying it, it's like, I will die right now.
Yeah.
I will drop dead if I eat this. So there's two different words that are being used. So she's telling...
One is, you won't be everlasting life anymore.
Right.
And then one is, boom, bye.
And the problem with the English is when we read it and then we know that they eat of the fruit, then they don't die. We're like, I thought he said that they were going to die. And so it seems like he didn't keep his word. But he did keep his word because he used a different
Oh,
Hebrew
I love
word.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
You standing up for God. Look
Yes.
at that. I love it.
If he says it, he means it, guys.
That's right.
And then...
So okay. People are always like, oh, he was so gracious.
Right.
And,
No.
and he actually is just...
He just did what he said.
He did exactly what he said. And she took it more harsh. Now, I'm going to say one thing about the adding on. We have seen, and Yeshua talked about this, that adding on to his word can bring bondage, especially if you make it into law. But if it's also for yourself, if you know yourself, like on the Shabbat, there's so many different add-ons and different traditions that people do. But let's say for myself, that I decide that I'm not going to be on social media or be on my phone on Shabbat because it will prevent me from resting. That is not a command, but I might do that to guard and protect my rest. So, but if I told Sarah to do that, you have to do that, then there's a problem.
Right, because he didn't specifically say that.
And I'm just doing it to protect myself.
The whole Shabbat, and maybe I should consider
I
putting
thought about it.
But like, I use my phone. I'm studying.
I
I studied all of this
I Google
today.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I use it, but because it doesn't say not to, right?
Yeah.
So he says, do not add one jot, don't take one jot or tittle away from my law. That's what Jesus
In
says.
Matthew 5.
Yeah. And so and it says also in, I think it's a Deuteronomy, like, don't add to or take away from my laws.
Do not add or subtract.
So, okay, this is the first time that we see why not. Well, there's many obvious reasons for why not, but I never put together that is probably a huge contributing factor to what caused the fall of the planet, because he gave them one rule, and it was don't eat from the tree.
Yeah.
So when she added it, it created the first ever straw man.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then Satan wasn't
Well said.
arguing with what God said. He wasn't arguing with the truth. He was arguing with some
her.
version that she made up of the truth.
Yeah.
So when he could kind of defame
That he can
her
mess with.
version, like, perhaps, I'm not saying it happened, perhaps when she said, I can't touch it, I can't eat it, or I'll die right now. And he's like, huh? And he's like...
It's like my toddler. You can't touch it, and he'll go.
Exactly. So, like,
He takes it all
perhaps that's what happened, and she realized, like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't
that bad.
that bad. So,
That's conjecture.
he got to get to her because she added to his law, and she just would have said, hey, none of your business, first of all.
Why you asking?
Why you asking? Second of all, I'm just not allowed to eat it. Then what was he going to say to that? Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It opened her up for, like... Argument, deception. It gave him a foothold by her adding to it. So then it says, the serpent said to the woman, it is not true that you will surely die, using like the drop dead die, which is...
Oh, wow.
Because she used the wrong word for die.
he used it. He used her die, not God's.
So
So he's not lying.
He's straw manning.
Yeah, he's strong.
He's
not
knocking
lying.
down an argument that's not even the real
He's
argument.
just being deceptive.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's so manipulative. And he says, because God knows that on the day that you eat it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it had a pleasing appearance, that the tree was desirable for making one wise. So she was trying to be like her father.
Yeah.
In her, I guess, defense. She took some of the fruit and ate. She also...
Well, let's stop there.
Okay.
I have a friend that talks about this. I've always viewed this as, oh, she's trying to be like God. But in like a negative context.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, you could give her some charity and think of it in the good context. Like, I could be like Abba.
Who I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to have his wisdom. Like, it could have been like that sweet innocence.
Yeah.
Which she obviously, kind of had at this point, because she didn't know sin. So maybe which people say bad things happen from good intentions.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, what her desire is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Is wisdom bad? No. Is disobedience bad? Yes.
Right.
But her desire was good, actually.
That's fair. This is a theory. Okay, so I like to preface it like I'm not reading it from here. This is the way I make sense of it.
Conjecture.
Okay, so there's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, and then there's the tree of life. They're eating from the tree of life. They're able to live forever because of this, right? All right. Well, he is wanting to see before you can have the knowledge of good and evil, before you can be like all knowing, basically. First, can I see if you're able to be obedient?
Absolutely.
Because what we don't want
Absolutely.
with the tree of life and all of this knowledge,
Yeah.
what if we had like a 1,000-year-old Hitler, right?
Right.
Like somebody that like has all of this knowledge and then they use that knowledge for terrible things.
Yeah.
And then they live forever.
Yes.
That doesn't work out.
Right.
So I think that like
Amen.
he was trying to make sure they were going to be obedient before he bestowed upon them all of this information. And then once they had it all, he's like, well, now you messed it up. You're not obedient and you have a bunch of information that you can use for evil now. And so now you can't have the tree of life anymore. You're going to be finite.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody got
Absolutely.
time for 1,000-year-old
Which is
Hitler.
why later you'll see
Yes.
he immediately guarded the tree of life
Right.
after they ate it.
I lost where I was.
We're in 3.
Oh, she took the son of the fruit and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized that they were naked, so they sewed fig leaves together to make themselves loincloths.
Okay. Yeah. I can keep reading.
Okay, go.
Verse 8. So this part makes me cry, usually. But it's just...
It is very
It's
sad.
really something.
Right.
They heard the voice of Adonai God walking in the garden at the time of the evening breeze. So the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Adonai God among the trees in the garden. Adonai God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard your voice in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself." And he said, "Who told you that you are naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I ordered you not to eat?" The man replied, "The woman you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree and I ate." Adonai God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" The woman answered, "The serpent tricked me, so I ate."
So there's like,
It's very sad.
it is sad because he's probably processing now, like, we don't get to have the relationship that I originally intended for us to have.
And he obviously knows where they're at.
Right. It's sort of
But
like
it's
with a
very
little
sad.
kid when you're like, what did you do? Like, why did you do this? Like, you already know. Like, as a parent, we already
Yeah,
know.
Where are you?
Where are
Why
you?
are you not close to me anymore?
Right.
Which I know people that have adult kids, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
why are you doing this to me?
And then I think that it's interesting because it says when she says, hold on, the woman gave. He's kind of blaming God. He's like, Adam says, the woman you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit of the tree and I ate. So he's not taking accountability
I
at
have
all.
I have a different theory on that.
Okay, go.
Someone I talked to today.
Oh, tell me.
Okay, so I've always thought that. I was like, oh my gosh, look, the man blaming the woman. So typical. Okay? Like, I've always thought that about that verse. Well, this person that I talked to today, she was saying, well, actually, he's just saying it matter of fact. He's literally just saying what happened.
He's answering what
He's
happened.
answering the question. The woman you gave to me ate the fruit and then I ate it. Like, she's literally just saying, this is exactly what happened.
That's fair.
I mean, we'll give him a little something.
Little grace.
Little
That's
grace.
fair. That's fair.
And
Then-
actually, so did she.
Well, yeah, well, then she said, the serpent tricked me, so I ate.
And he did deceive
did.
her because he used different language, and she was naive.
Right.
I mean, she knew no sin. She didn't know what lying was. Like,
I
I
think
think there is some grace.
I think to contrast that, though, you remember when Yeshua was in the wilderness and he'd been fasting for 40 days, and Satan said, turn that rock into a loaf of bread if you're really the Son of God. And then he says, it is written,
Yeah.
for man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of my Father.
Yeah.
So, okay, what Jesus did in contrast to what she did is he's like, no, my dad said no. Like, this is what my dad, this is exactly what he said. I can quote to you what he said, and he said no, and I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not living on bread alone. I'm living on every word that comes from the mouth of my Father, which, by the way, would be the Torah.
Oh, I have something else.
Okay, say it.
Okay. Same
Yeah.
person I talked to today, very wise woman. She also had a good point that I never thought of.
Mm-hmm.
I always viewed Adam eating the fruit right after the woman as him being weak. Like a weak man. Like not, well, you did it, but this is wrong, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just, oh, you did it, so I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I always viewed it as a weakness. Well, this person gave me something else to think about. She said, well, maybe in that moment after his wife, his mate, only mate, when she ate it, he realized that she disobeyed God, that if he does this, she will be gone. So in that moment, he had to choose God or her. Am I going to be with God in the garden, or am I going to be exiled with her?
He did like Romeo and Juliet type thing.
Yeah, like I'm going to... Now, this is all conjecture, okay?
Yeah.
But like, that's another way to think about
Something
it.
to
Like
think
maybe
about.
he's like, yeah, I'm going to eat this because I don't want to be separated from her.
Yeah.
And she then said that's like Yeshua taking the curse for us so that he would be with us. That's what she said. And my mind was like, oh, I love that.
I like that.
Anyways,
that's
so,
crazy.
So he ate the curse so he would not be away from her, just like
I literally
Yeshua
just got coaches.
died on the cross or the stake for us so he would not be apart from us.
I mean, like,
And he's the second Adam.
I know that it's a theory, but like both things are true. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I mean, it's a good theory.
Yeah. Adonai God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust as long as you live. I will put animosity between you and the woman, and between your descendants and her descendant. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel.
There it is. That's the
Yeah.
part I want to talk about. Hello, husband. If you're on, you're going to love this. So me and Matt had this really big fight back in Virginia
Yeah.
when I was at Exalt Church. And when we first read this, I said, Matthew, you can infer, everyone knows it's a serpent, right? So we all think a snake, like a rattlesnake or something. But by this curse, it infers that the serpent had legs.
Yeah, well, we see he's a dragon. Remember we just read that in
You see that?
Revelation?
So I always said, he had legs and he took them away.
And
And then Matt
wings,
was like,
probably.
no, he didn't. It's a snake. Like, it was like the funniest fight that we had for years. And then finally he was like, okay, you're probably right.
I think that you're right, because it says in Revelation that before he was cast down, he was a dragon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, this has been a while, so don't hold me to this, but if someone could maybe look it up. I think they found that on the anatomy of a snake, there's hip sockets.
Cool.
You want to look it up?
Yeah.
Okay,
Look
yeah.
it up.
So let me go back. Okay. I also think this is interesting because that's saying you're going to crawl on your belly and eat dust. And then here in a minute, not to spoiler alert, but I'm sure people know, whenever the earth is cursed, Cain and Abel. Did you find that?
Yeah, you say your thing. Let me keep looking.
Okay. No, okay. Just note that the snake is on its belly on the earth, because that's going to come back to be like interesting later.
You're correct.
Is it right?
This is AI Google. Okay, guys. One of the bullet points says vestigial structures. The hip bones found in some modern snakes are vestigial structures, meaning they are reduced, non-functional remnants of a past organ.
So they would
Of a
probably try
past
to use
leg.
that for evolution.
And they said it up here, no, snakes do not have functional hip sockets because they have lost their legs over time through evolution.
Okay, see?
Which they
So-
they lost it because of the curse.
Right, and even that fact
That's
has
really
been,
funny.
even the fact that this came from this
I'm going to
curse.
show this to my husband.
But listen to how ironic this is, okay?
Okay.
So, this, we know from the Bible, that is probably from this curse.
Yes.
He had legs,
We
and
know
then,
that.
okay, we know that.
But science had to catch up.
Science and deception coming from whom?
Yeah.
He's distorting his own story, which is typical. Okay, and then, okay, also, that he will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel.
Yeah.
This is foreshadowing Yeshua in Gethsemane when he steps on the head, right? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know about that.
Can you look that up? I don't
I'll
know.
look
My
that
phone
up.
is
I'm
recording.
going to make sure that she's in the
On
straight
track.
and narrow. Guys.
Yes,
Okay.
my memory fails me all the time. So, see if there is a snake in Gethsemane. I don't know where I'm getting
Did
that
Jesus step on a snake?
head and, yeah. I might be wrong.
Okay.
Okay. The woman said, to the woman he said, I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Okay, before we
No, so I'm going to correct you. No,
Okay.
the Bible does not state that Jesus physically stepped on a snake. But the verse, other than Genesis 3:15, which is mentioned, that is referenced, is Luke 10:19. Jesus tells his disciples, so more in a spiritual sense,
Okay.
I give you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, which is understood to mean authority over Hasatan and the evil spirits,
Okay.
not necessarily a physical act of
Yeah.
stepping on a literal snake.
Got it. Okay. We got it. So then, you know where I think I'm getting that? For the second time in 24 hours, Passions of the Christ.
Yeah.
Because-
be careful what you watch.
Were you still
I haven't
there
watched
at
it
the
in a
study
long
whenever
time.
I did this once already with Mary? Because, okay, in the back here when it's bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, it's mentioning that in the beginning of this. I'm like, I feel like that Mary said that when Jesus was on the cross. And we looked it up, and it was not said in the Bible, but she did say it in Passions of the Christ,
Oh,
which is
wow.
really kind of creepy. And then
creepy.
I'm pretty sure he
So we gotta
stepped
know
on
our
the-
Bible,
yes.
guys.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he stepped on the head of the snake during that movie too, and that's where my brain got that. So you
There
do
you
have
go.
to be careful what you watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Woman.
That is actually one of the reasons why I always read the Torah portion first before I watch the AI Torah portion on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah, that's good.
Because they'll kind of add some fun things through the AI.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, that's not in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So to the woman he said, I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. Can relate. You will bring forth children in pain. Your desire, okay, this is where I think this is interesting. Your desire will be towards your husband, but he will rule over you. So we
Yeah.
just figured out that she's supposed to be his
Challenger.
but now it's like the punishment for what she did is, well, he's now like your boss.
Yeah.
And I think that's why women have such a hard time with being like
Subservient.
or like submissive.
Yeah.
And later on, it does say, wives, submit to your husbands. But it's saying, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. So, like, if a husband's loving you in a way that he would die for you and give up his life for you and putting you first before all things the way that he did for us, then it would be very easy to submit to whatever he's saying because he's doing what's
And
best for us.
that is why the boss babe culture is rooted in sin. It goes
Right.
against this, but also the passive man culture of, man-child. You do whatever, babe. Yeah, I'm just gonna play video games, and that's also rooted in sin too.
Right.
Like they're both on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. I think the masculine and feminine roles have been ripped away, and it's to the detriment of like
But now we're all
marriages.
trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to, like, we're
very
trying to
hard.
undo what happened here. Like, it all
Yes.
started here, and we're trying to, like, go back and undo it and get as close back to what it's supposed to be as possible.
Yes. Amen.
Um,
Well said.
so then this says, to Adam he said, because you listened to that wife.
Verse 17.
17, yeah. Because you listened to what your wife said and ate from the tree about which I gave you the order, you are not... Oh my goodness.
This is, you want me to say?
Yeah, you go.
About which I gave you the order, you are not to eat from it. So he's just reiterating, this is what I said, don't do it. Just like a parent.
Yeah.
Sitting down. This is what I said. The ground is cursed on your account, and you will work hard to eat from it as long as you live. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat field plants. You will eat bread by the sweat of your forehead till you return to the ground, for you are taken out of it. You are dust, and you will return to dust. Wait.
Yeek. Also, I think if I have any horse people on here, the burrs happened, I think, because of this. It's a curse from the fall of the world that we now have burrs.
What is burrs?
They're like little thorny balls that like 100 of them get in their mane, literally, and like you have to pick them all out. And as you're picking them out, they prick your fingers.
Wow.
And like they end up looking like a unicorn if you don't get them out. So it's like you have to get them out, but like. I
have a baby, guys.
She's been so good.
She's been so good.
Yeah.
I might have to step away, or you might just hear me.
Okay. So then it says,
she's 3 weeks old.
You gotta show them.
I'll show. If she's doing good, I'll show the baby. The baby.
So then, okay, the man called his wife Eve. The Hebrew is Hava. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay. Because she was the mother of all living, Adonai God made the garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. Adonai God said, see, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, to prevent his putting out his hand and taking also from the tree of life, eating and living forever. See, now at this point, he knows too much. He can't live forever. Because of what we talked about. Yeah. Okay. Then it says, therefore, Adonai God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to cultivate the ground from which he was taken. So he drove the man out and placed at the east of the Garden of Eden. It says cherubim.
Cherubim.
Okay, cool. Okay.
The cherubim, those angels. Yeah.
And flaming sword, which turned in every direction to guard the way to the tree of life. Okay. To the tree of life.
Yep.
So
I think it's still here.
Right. Okay, so now they are exiled from Eden. Now they can't eat from the tree of life, so they can't live forever. But do you know what they call the Torah scrolls?
Oh, the tree of life.
The tree of life. The tree of life. So we're exiled, so we can't access the tree of life, but it's right here. So we can, the way we can get back to the tree of life is to read this, because if we read this and do what it says, then like we do have eternal life, right? So it's like, it's the way to redeem through.
And we'll have blessing.
Yeah, okay, so it's giving us directions for our lives. Because if you do what it says to do, you're going to be blessed. It's not even like necessarily like a magical thing. It's just like, hey, it's almost like...
it's a wisdom thing.
It's a wisdom thing. It's like whenever you start the beginning of a semester. It's okay.
I'll show her, and then can I do it in your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
The baby needs a diaper.
Here's my sweet baby girl.
She's so
baby. Look at the baby. Wait.
little.
The baby. Oh, there she is. My
This
sweet
light's
girl.
so bright.
She's like, Mama, what are you doing? Her name is Samantha Renee.
She's so cute.
She's a beauty. She's blonde hair and blue eyes. You want to give a kiss?
Mwah.
Okay, Mama, be back.
Oh, I love her so much.
She cried when she first met her. It was so precious.
I did. I cried. She was so pretty.
She did.
Okay, so all right, getting back to the tree of life. So if we're exiled away from the tree of life because we're kicked out of the garden, right? But we can still have eternal life by doing like by reading and doing what this book tells us to do. Okay, so then it says, the man had relations with his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from Adonai. In addition, she gave birth to his brother Abel. So it's calling Abel Havel for the Hebrew, and then it continues calling it Havel. So I might end up reading it like that. Havel kept sheep while Cain worked the soil. And in the course of time, Cain brought an offering to Adonai from the produce of the soil, and Abel too brought from the firstborn of his sheep, including their fat. Adonai accepted Abel and his offering, but did not accept Cain and his offering. So I remember when I first was trying to figure this out, I was like, why didn't God like Cain's offering, but he did like Abel's offering? And it kind of, you can read between the lines towards the end of this paragraph. So Cain was very angry and his face fell. So this is like his countenance fell. So you know how with the Aaronic blessing, it's like, may the Lord bless you and keep you, may his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, lift up his countenance upon you, and grant you peace or shalom. The countenance of, it's like his attitude fell. He started to get a really bad attitude. And it's sort of like, think about like one of your kids does a good job on their chores and another one doesn't. And you say, good job on your chores to one of them, and the other one's like, you didn't say good job to my chores, and then they get all mad, right? So listen to how he handles it. He handles it exactly like most parents handle it. Okay, it says, Adonai said to Cain, why are you angry? Why are you downcast? If you are doing what is good, shouldn't you hold your head high? So he's saying, like, if you're doing the right thing, then why are you holding your head so low? Like, why are you feeling ashamed if you think that you're doing the right thing? It says, and if you don't do what is good, sin is crouching at the door. And it wants you, but you can roll over it. So he's saying, hey, like, if you do the right thing, I'll be happy with you too. Will you please just do the right thing? Listen, sin is crouching at the door. Like, it's going to try to get you to do the wrong thing. The adversary is going to try to deceive you, just like your mom and dad, and doing the wrong thing. But he's saying right now, but you can rule over it, which means that he could have made a different choice, right? But he didn't, because it says Cain had words with Abel his brother. Then one time when they were in the field, Cain turned on Abel his brother and killed him. So I always assumed that was with a rock. And maybe it was with a rock, but it just says he killed him here. And Adonai said to Cain, where is your brother? And he replied, I do not know. Am I my brother's, this says guardian, but it's often, am I my brother's keeper? And it's like, he just literally killed someone. And he has the nerve, the audacity to say to God, am I my brother's keeper? Like, how am I supposed to know where my brother is? When he does know exactly where his brother is, right? And then it goes on. I'm in chapter 4, verse 10. He said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And in the Hebrew, blood is actually plural. So it's like bloods. It's like all of the generations that would have come from him. Like, I think that is a very strong stance on like killing people, or even like killing the unborn. Like, it's not just one person. It's the generations of people that will now not be alive because of the person not being here anymore, right? It says, now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood at your hands. When you farm the ground, it will no longer yield its strength. You will be a fugitive, a wandering earth, Canaan said to Adonai. Okay, so then God's just saying, you're cursed and you're a fugitive, and you get out of my sight. And Cain says, my punishment is greater than I can bear. You are banning me today from the land and from your presence. I will be a fugitive wandering the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. And it's just sort of like, you just killed someone, and like, now you're getting kicked out of, like, away from your people, and you are feeling sorry for yourself because you're afraid someone's now going to kill you. Which is like, there's a Hebrew concept that's like, what you do will return to you, right? So, like, it's almost like innately he knows, like, I probably deserve for that to happen to me. But then Adonai answered him, therefore, whoever kills Cain will receive vengeance sevenfold. So note that, sevenfold, okay? And Adonai put a sign on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. Okay, so the word sign here in Hebrew is ot. And I have a note here to go to Exodus, because there's another sign I want to show you that's the same word. Exodus 31:13. Bear with me. Exodus 31:13. Okay, so let's go back and read this. It says, Adonai put a sign on Canaan so that no one who found him would kill him. Okay. Exodus 31:13. Tell the people of Israel, you are to observe my Shabbats. We're going to go back to that for just 1 second. For this is a sign between me and you through all your generations, so that you will know that I am Adonai who sets you apart for me. Therefore, you are to keep my Shabbat because it is set apart for you. Everyone who treats it as an ordinary day must be put to death, for whoever does any work on it will be cut off from his people. So it's talking about being cut off from people. It's talking about a sign from God, and God putting his sign on Cain so they wouldn't kill him. And then this is like him putting a sign on us as well. So later on, we're destined for, we're like Cain, like we've sinned. We are destined for exile, right? But then he puts a sign on us so that, like, we won't be killed.
What?
Okay, so back, sorry, she just walked back in. So,
I've never heard that before.
okay, so then we're starting
Are you
out.
talking about the sacrifices?
No.
Oh.
We're still in Genesis 4, Cain and Abel. So Cain's like, oh no, someone's going to kill me if I go out into the wilderness, and God puts a sign on him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it says God put a sign on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him, okay? So the word sign, I looked up that word in Hebrew, and it's ot, O-T.
Okay.
And I'm like, a sign, a sign, a sign, a sign. So I kept thinking about,
Revelation, the sign on our head.
well, I didn't even look at that one.
Oh, that's the only one. That's why.
We should look that one up. But what I figured, I looked up was, you know how Shabbat is a sign?
Oh, yes, and it tells that you're God's.
Yes, it's like, I'm God's. It's a sign between me and God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same Hebrew word for sign. What are you looking for?
If I, do what I gotta do, I'm trying to think of where I can sit.
Right there.
Okay. Just like, kind of like to the side like that.
Yeah, you're not on the camera.
Okay.
Just gotta feed that baby.
Yep.
Okay, so, but listen to the parallels. I think this is super cool. Okay, so when it's talking about Shabbat, it says, tell the people of Israel, you are to observe my Shabbat. For this is a sign between me and you for all your generations, so that you will know that I am Adonai who set you apart from me. Therefore, you are to keep my Shabbat because it is set apart for you. Everyone who treats it as an ordinary day must be put to death, for whoever does any work on it is to be cut off from his people.
So I have heard that sign that for that
Yeah.
is the same type of word that they use for sign as in like marriage. Like
Oh,
the
like a wedding ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like showing like a contract, like I'm his, like I'm the bride.
Well, and then, like you said, in is it Revelation that it's saying there's a sign upon your hand and on your, between your forehead?
That's in the Shema.
That's also in the
Revelations.
In Revelations. Okay. So we'll get to that. But then it says,
I love you, baby. It's okay.
Cain had relations with his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Enoch. Cain built a city and named the city after his son Enoch. And to Enoch was born Irad. Irad fathered, I might pronounce all this wrong, Mechule. Wait, no. This one? You can't see it, can you?
No.
Just
I believe you.
that guy. Okay, fathered Metushel, and Metushel fathered Lamech.
Can you hold her?
Can I hold her? I will hold her
Pass the baby.
all the time. I will hold her whenever.
This shows that you can study the Word of God in any season of life.
That's right.
That's right. You can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, baby.
But what I was going to say about the sacrifices is I heard about the parallel between work of your hands, the work of your hands.
Oh, yeah, and between your eyes, it's like what you're thinking and what you're doing. I love that one.
I have to think about it, and now my thinking brain is out the window.
It's alright.
This is awesome. This is
My
Women at the
babies-
Well podcast
Yes.
vibes. It's great.
My babies were this big 2 minutes ago. And now there are...
Your youngest is 7. Yeah. Angel. I'm really trying, y'all, to just enjoy it
Yes.
as much as I can.
Just take it all in, every moment.
Yep, I'm almost done. Here we go.
It's okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Our littlest woman at the well.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the podcast someday. Oh, and not this way. You'll have something to say.
Oh. Okay, so this is really cool. Just so everyone knows, we're going through 6 verse 8. So we are like getting there. We're almost done.
You guys are
Okay.
doing great.
You're doing great. I don't think that if there's questions, I can't see
We
them
can go
on
them at the end.
The whole point of having my laptop here was to see questions. And I think that they are popping up a little bit, but on my phone.
We'll save questions for the end. Let's just
Okay.
finish reading.
That sounds good. Okay. So then, hold on. I'm over here. All right. Lamech. So pay attention to Lamech. Okay. But this is out of the Cain. Oh, damn. Good. That's not going to reach further because it's plugged in.
That'll work.
Okay. So, this is from Cain's line, okay? You end up with Lamech. Lamech took himself 2 wives. That's his first problem. The name of one was Adah, and the name of the other one was Selah. Adah gave birth to Yavol. He was the ancestor of those who live in tents and have cattle. His brother's name was Yuval, and he was the ancestor of those who play the lyre and flute. What's a lyre? Is Graham still on here?
Lyre, isn't that like a little guitar?
Maybe. If Grams is on here, she would know. She's good at all that.
It also shows the importance of musical instruments because your girl plays the flute and saxophone.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, for 7 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in my story, Jamie.
I need you to play it for me.
Okay.
Okay, so then it says, Zillah gave birth to Tubal Cain, who forged all kinds of tools from brass and iron. The sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. Lamech says to his wives. Oh, I forgot one more thing. I'm going to go back and do this. Actually, I'm going to pause because I just saw my note. The word sign, you know how we said that...
Oh, you're talking about the ring and stuff.
Yeah, so if you go back in your brain just one little minute, Adonai put a sign on Cain. Then Adonai says that there's a sign between him and us if we keep his commandments and his Shabbat. And then there's the other sign that was the same word was the blood over the doorpost
Oh, cool.
at Passover.
That's awesome.
Okay, so anyhow, that was like an arrow drawn here, so I got distracted. Let's go back. So Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Selah, listen to me. Wives of Lamech, hear what I say. I killed a man for wounding me, a young man who injured me. If Cain will be avenged 7-fold, then Lamech 77-fold. So he killed someone, but he's really cocky because he's saying, like, well, with Cain, it was like, if someone tries to kill you, God will take care of it, right? But then Lamech is saying, someone tried to hurt me and injure me, so I killed them, and the avenge is 70-fold. So he's very, like, arrogant, like he killed someone, he's being really arrogant about it, and he's kind of bragging to his, it seems to me like he's bragging to his wives
Well, it
about
also
it.
sounds like he thinks his life is worth more than Cain's.
Yeah, that's true. That's very pretentious. So then it says Adam again, so now we're back to Adam, has relations with his wife, and she gave birth to a son who she named Seth. Seth means granted. It also can mean like replaced, like he replaced Abel. And then it says, For God has granted me another seed in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. To Seth, was born a son, whom he called Enosh. So we have an Enoch and we have an Enosh. Very creative. Then that was when people began to call on the name of Adonai. Okay, so this is really cool. If you look at chapter 5, it is a genealogy of Adam, and it gives the names and ages of all of the people. And I'm going to let you read that if you would like to read that, but I'm going to say something about it, okay? So, Adam has Seth, Seth has Enosh, Enosh has Kenan, next page in 12. Kenan has Mahalalel, Mahalalel has Jared, Jared has Hanach, and Hanach has Methuselah, Methuselah has Lamech, so we have another Lamech, and then Lamech has Noah, okay? So at this point, I used to, when I would read, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Like, this doesn't mean anything to me. I don't want to read all of it. Skip it.
I would skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it does have a lot of really cool information. For example, the ages of all the people, which is how we have an estimate of how old the world is. And then also, this is cool. Lamech, who's Noah's dad, would have lived long enough to be alive for 56 years with Adam. So I'm going to say that again.
Oh, Mark Billett said something like
yes. Well, I remember him saying it, but I didn't want to go back and find it in the videos, so I just looked it up. So, Lamech, so you've got Noah. Noah's dad is Lamech. Lamech would have been 56 when Adam died. So for 56 years, Noah's dad lived knowing Adam, who walked with God.
And knew the Torah.
And knew the Torah because God would have spoke to him about it in the garden, right? Passed it on to Noah, and that's why Noah ends up finding favor. Yeah, he was more righteous than everyone else because he probably heard from Lamech everything that Lamech heard from Adam, which Adam walked in the garden with God. And that's probably how Noah got to the place that he was in, right? So that's interesting. The other thing that's interesting is each of these has a meaning. And that is why I think learning the Hebrew is super important. So, for example, Seth, well, we know Adam means mankind. We already talked about that. Seth means appointed to. Enosh means feeble or mortal. Kenan means fixed dwelling place. Mahalalel means God who was praised. Jared means descendant. Hanach means instructed. And then Methuselah means sent to die. Ironically, because Methuselah is the oldest person that ever lived in the Bible. He was, where'd it go? 969 years old. So Methuselah is the longest person living in the Bible. That his word meant sent to die. His name meant sent to die.
That's really weird.
It is really weird until you see why, okay? So then we go to Lamech, which means beaten and tortured. Who names their kid that?
I have no idea.
You're about to find out. And then Noah means rest or like a peace, okay? So, although I used to think this was not interesting to read through, when I looked up the meanings of the words, and Mark Biltz, credit to Mark Biltz, put it in order, it ends up, if you put it in order, it reads, mankind appointed to feeble and mortal fixed dwelling place. So now we're in a mortal body.
Okay.
Sukkah. Yeah, Sukkah. And then God, who is praised, descended to instruct us and was sent to die, beaten and tortured, to bring us rest or peace. Yeshua. So we already talked about how
from Adam to second Adam.
Yes.
All within the genealogy, and he comes from the seed of Adam.
Right, and we miss it in the English. If we were reading it in Hebrew, I'd be like, oh, there's the story of, Yeshua. And even we talked about in the very beginning, Bereshit talks about Yeshua. So now we've told the story of Yeshua at least 2 times that I'm aware of in Hebrew within the first portion of the Bible.
Or even 3 times, because he's prophesied in the curse.
Oh, that's true too.
So maybe even
that's incredible. So then,
sweetie.
I thought this was interesting.
I do have something, another one.
Yeah.
Apparently in the Bereshit, that very first sentence,
yeah,
in the Hebrew is an aleph and a tav. So the aleph is the very first letter in the Hebrew Bible, and the tav is the very last letter in the Hebrew Bible.
Ooh.
And I guess there's only 14 of these ets where they're together.
Yeah.
14 times. This is what this Messianic rabbi was talking about. It's really cool. Remember I was talking about John 1 in the beginning?
Yeah.
That same et is in that. Same as it is in that very first sentence. It's hidden in the Hebrew. It's not in the English. And so essentially it's talking about how he was saying how it shows the evidence of the Messiah in certain parts of the Bible. Because in Revelation he says, I am the Aleph and the Tav. And that's why John says in the Word, like he is the Word. He is the Aleph and the Tav. He is the beginning to the end.
Yeah, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God.
And the first, it goes from Aleph to Tav. So he is that.
But I think that's why it's so important. Like, the Word is referring to this, right?
He's referring to the Hebrew.
Right.
Yes, he's referring to this, yes.
So then we know that in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word is with God. So then a lot of people say that's Jesus, Yeshua, but then they want to, in the same breath, reject the first part of everything.
Yeah.
You can't. They come together. He is the Word. He is the Torah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he's the walking Torah.
He's the walking. He lived it to perfection.
Yeah.
So, this I thought was interesting. So remember we have Lamech coming out of Seth's line? Now I want to know what Lamech means.
You should look it up.
I can't. My phone record.
Do you see my phone?
You took it with you.
Oh.
Can someone Google what Lamech means in Hebrew? It's like Lemekh. Now I really want to know.
Well, I think I put it in my backpack if you want to bring it to me.
I don't think I can reach it.
Let's see.
Maybe I can do it on here.
Wait.
You got it?
Did I do?
While you look that up, or...
Not there.
Okay.
Sorry, young lady.
While we figure that out, so remember the Lamech from Cain's line says, if Cain will be avenged sevenfold, Lamech, he's third personing himself, Lamech 7 times 7, or 77-fold. Which my brain is immediately going to,
The forgiveness
the
line.
forgiveness. Yeah, Ryan said that earlier. It's, how many times should you forgive? Seven times? And then they're like, no, 7 times 77 times, right?
Hi.
Oh, Donna's watching also. Yay.
Yay. Donna can look for us.
Yes. Okay, so then there's another Lamech in the line of Seth, and that Lamech lived to be 777 years old.
Oh, cool.
Which I think that is a good burp. Okay. All right. So then, we're almost there now, guys.
I love you, baby.
It says, we're on chapter 5, verse 31. And all Lamech lived 777 years, and he died. Noah was 500 years old, and Noah fathered Shem, Ham, and Japheth. In time, when men began to multiply on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were attractive, and they took wives for themselves, whomever they chose. Adonai said, "My spirit." So these were the Nephilim. Okay, so then it says, "My spirit will not live in human beings forever, for they too are flesh. Therefore, their lifespan is to be 120 years." The Nephilim were on earth in those days and also afterwards. So the sons of God came and the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the ancient heroes, men of renown, which we could go on forever about the Nephilim, but
Well, you could just say, just very frankly, what that is.
Well, I
It's
think
half-
that it's debated.
Isn't it just half men, half angels? They're kind of like demigods, and they were really tall. And they
So-
were giants.
It says the
found
sons
giant
of God.
Okay.
So the sons of God and the daughters of men.
Yeah.
It depends on what sons of God means.
I mean, I guess. I think that's why they say that they have to say in Hebrews that Yeshua is above the angels, because I believe the angels were they were called sons of God.
I wonder if it says
That's why
something.
he's the only begotten son. Like, he's a special one. Because Yeshua is obviously not an angel.
Right, there's something different than him.
Yes.
I
he's
wonder
different.
in the Hebrew if it clarifies. Let me look really fast, guys. We're wrapping up. So, sons of God, where did it go?
I forgot to put my finger on
Here. 6:2. The sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they were yeah. So it doesn't give any more information by looking at that.
But I've looked into this.
Yeah.
They have found giant bones.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It's
that too.
that's a real thing that they tried to hide, because
Yeah.
that actually shows more evidence of the Bible.
Right.
But yeah,
So this says,
they're the descendants of Anakim later in Deuteronomy or whatever.
okay, that's awesome.
Anyways, fun facts.
My spirit will not live in them. The 120 years. There we go. All right, we're on verse 4. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were ancient heroes, men of renown. Verse 5. Adonai saw that the people on earth were very wicked, that all the hold on.
Do you want me to read it? I actually can see it.
Imaginings. Oh my
Imaginings.
goodness.
Yeah,
Guys.
imaginings of their hearts.
I need coffee. The imaginings of their heart were always of evil only.
Oh wow, that's scary.
That is scary. But also, like, not so far from where
we are right
we
now.
are now. Yeah.
But it also shows that what we think about is important.
That's true, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know evil, like, evil doesn't have to be, like, I want to kill someone. Evil is just when you do something contrary to good. Like, if you if you're
absolutely.
not doing what God said to do, that's considered evilness. It's
You're
not.
outside of His will.
I think when I think evil, I want to think it's like I killed someone or I want to kill
Or
someone.
rape or something.
What?
Or rape, like
Yes.
something really.
Yeah, evilness is just not doing what He wants you. It's, you know? Okay. Adonai regretted that He had made humankind on the earth. It grieved His heart. Adonai said, I will wipe out humankind who I am created from the whole earth. And not only human beings, but animals, creeping things, and birds of the air. For I regret that I ever made them. But Noah found grace in the sight of Adonai.
Wow.
And that's the end of the portion. But we're going to find out the next portion why Noah had
Grace.
Grace. Like, why did he choose Noah?
And two things to note with that.
Yeah.
One, I never knew that God, just from you reading that, I never knew that God also regretted making animals. So what were the animals doing? Like, that's also interesting.
Well, now we know there's laws on bestiality eventually. I wonder if it had anything to do with that.
It could.
Like,
Absolutely
they were
it could.
defiled.
Yeah. But the Noah found grace. Me and Sarah both know that we've heard in the Christian church, like, that, like, oh, Old Testament God was all, like, justice and righteousness and rah, rah, rah. And then Yeshua is grace and mercy and all this. But you can see right here in the Old Testament that God had grace. And that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Exactly.
That it's not two separate books. It's one.
It's one book. That's right.
It is one book. And that has last thing I'm going to say.
Misty says, I think she helped us out with the Limerick thing.
Thank you, Misty.
It says, the exact meaning of the name is debated, but some sources suggest that it means powerful or mighty, while others link it to the root meaning to make low or despairing, which is interesting because one of them did one and one of them did the other.
Well, it kind of reminds me of that verse, like, if you're humble, I will exalt you.
Yeah.
But if you are proud, I will humble you.
That's true.
Which it sounds like that one Lamech was very proud.
Yeah, it does seem like each of the Lamechs.
Which Noah's Lamech, he was probably very humble.
How do I...
You know, most likely because he was Noah's dad. And where did he learn that from? That humility. He learned that from that.
Probably from his dad. Which, I mean, okay, Adam, there's not that many generations between Adam and Noah, really.
No.
And then, we went from, we messed it up we messed it up in the beginning, and then we messed it up okay, there's Adam and Eve, and then there's Cain and Abel, the next generation. And then, like, a couple of generations later, we're just flooding the whole earth. Like, humans just completely, like, dropped the ball. Like, in every generation. Then...
That escalated quickly.
Yes. then we have Noah, and then right after Noah, we have, the Tower of Babel. Like, we didn't learn our lesson. We flooded the whole earth and didn't learn our lesson.
That's right.
Which is just crazy. Crazy.
Right.
There was a couple things that I saw in the comments, but I can't figure out how to... Do you have your phone?
Somewhere.
Hold on, let me see if I can get them pulled up on here. Wonder if I can. Bear with us, people.
So can't you just grab the phone and look at it? And they'll just get a really good view of your face?
That would be really fun to do. Let me see. 24. Okay. God said, let the earth bring forth each kind of living creature, each kind of livestock, crawling animal,
There are the
and
comments.
wild
Live chat. There they are.
Okay, sounds good. There we go. So let's go up and look at comments.
We'll get better at this, y'all. This is our first time.
Yes. Oh, Bray says that he finished this portion today. It's very spicy. And he laughed. Misty says hello. Donald and Donna say hello. Yes, Misty says every Sabbath she's reminded that he is good. And she says the baby's precious.
Oh, thank you.
My contacts want to come out, guys. Okay. Misty then gives us the meaning. She gets, like, the MVP award today.
Thank you, Misty.
Oh, yeah. Then she says, sin is transgression of the law. Absolutely, because we were talking about evilness. I think that's when she brought that up.
Oh, okay.
And then, thank you, ladies, for reading the portion to us. Justin reads it to us every Sabbath, but I'm chasing Nolan, so I'll only get bits and pieces.
Oh.
Hope you both had a peaceful Shabbat. We did. I had a peaceful Shabbat. How was yours?
Yeah, it was good. I had my Dutch babies that I always have every Shabbat.
Oh, nice.
And then I got to go to Gabby's halfway through, and we sat on her outside sukkah, just watching the leaves fall while Buggy was napping.
Nice.
I love
that. That is very
It
peaceful.
was very nice.
We studied a lot today.
Okay.
But Misty, I can appreciate, and I'm sure Sierra even more, running after littles.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're planning to be here every single Saturday at 9. Sierra's going to be here as she can.
sometimes.
Yes, because she's got...
Because of my season.
Yes. And so, yep, I will at least be here every single Saturday at 9. The next portion we're going through, in case anyone wants to look at it ahead of time, which I highly recommend, is Genesis 6:9 through...
And it's called Noach.
Noah.
Noach.
I like saying it like
I
that.
know me too. Instead of Noah.
Genesis 11.
It says it right here,
32.
sweetie. It'll just tell you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So Genesis chapter 6:9
There we
through
go.
11:32. So if
We
you
can,
have...
we can do a comment of that.
Yes.
We'll write it before
Yeah.
we're done.
And if you watch this played back, we're happy to have you, and we would love for you to join us next week. And we're just going to keep trucking along through. And if you have comments or questions, like, we welcome that as well.
And we'll try to get to those questions if you have some.
Yes. And we are planning to do, so on Saturday nights, we're planning to do the portion. So we're just going to be working our way through the Bible. But then we're also planning to do at least 2 a month. Topical things. So we're doing the portions.
Essentially, the first one's going to be about how to do this portion thing.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially kind of going through the TLV app.
Yes,
Which
tools.
goes through just tools of how to do this and make your life easier.
Yes.
Yeah, with this new walk.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then
that's all.
if you have ideas for other, like, topical things you'd like us to cover, like maybe like the Shabbat or the holidays, things like that. It's not that we don't want to talk about normal things. It's just that everyone else is already talking about normal things. So
We're talking about the things that people are unsure about.
yeah, the things that we do that are kind of different.
Yeah, or that are set apart.
Yeah, set apart, different. He
Yeah.
says that his people be a peculiar people.
Yes.
And I'm always like,
Check. Yeah, me too.
So, anyways, if there's anything that we do that you think is just different and you just want to know why, we're open books because we're opening this book. So we'll explain to you why we feel the way that we do about various things. And then hopefully you'll find those things interesting. And if you want to walk on the journey with us, you won't feel alone.
We should pray or
Yes,
bless
we will.
them.
Yes.
Do the blessing. What?
Yeah.
You know the blessing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do the blessing and I'll pray.
All right, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to
All right,
pray
y'all,
over
we're
y'all.
going to pray. Just hear my voice. Okay. Thank you, Father in heaven, for this day that you have made. Thank you, Father, for such a great Shabbat, for your presence to dwell with us. Father, thank you for just this Bible study, this time with my sister, where we could just dive deep in your word and just enjoy your word, how complex you are, how creative you are, how amazing you are. Father, I just pray a blessing over everyone that watched today. I pray, Father, that your spirit, your move would open hearts, would open eyes, that they would not be deceived by the enemy in any way, that they would see your truth and how much life it brings and how it does not bring bondage. And Father, I just pray that this week that they would find rest in you and that they would know that your burden is not burdensome, that it is light. In the name of your Son, Yeshua, amen.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, lift up his countenance upon you, and grant you shalom.
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 I am the one you've been waiting for. Drink of me, taste the living water, a fountain of grace that won't run dry. I am the living water.
Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, immersing them and teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you.
Matthew 28:19 through 20. Like, share, subscribe. Shalom.